we don't have the right just selection of black artists in the art world. It's like it's always the same black artist. He's black. He's probably black as shit, first of all. He's probably the blackest you've ever seen. Like, I'm talking about just aesthetic-wise, like dreads or whatever, like, you know what I mean? But when you talk to them, they got this type of like elitist.
Toucha den, hela livet bara toucha den. Cashen den kommer sen. Finns andra vägar till lycka, bara toucha den. Toucha den, mannen toucha den. Gå hela vägen.
My name is Gianni Lee. I'm a visual artist, musician, DJ. It's a certain energy, and you won't get it unless you're there. It's like a fighting spirit, and it's very rough, very raw, but it's a lot of love in the city, and like that's what people don't realize. They think that like Philly people are so just aggressive, and like, you know, we're aggressive, we're rough, you know what I mean? But it's with love, you know what I mean? Because it really is a city of brotherly love, you know what I mean? People really love their homies, it's very close knit, it's a community, it's family. So when you have family, you protect family. So, you know, in Philly, people get tried, like your family might get tried, so you're there to fight for them. So like I guess that way of thinking, you take it with you in life. And sometimes people might mistake it for something else, but no, a lot of times Philly people are very passionate, you know what I mean? So it might come off a little rough around the edges, but you know, that's what the city is, that's how we grew up. Being in that mindset can sometimes, it can pigeonhole you, like you're apprehensive with your work. You don't want to be judged for it. You don't want to be judged with like, or you're afraid of how you might be judged. You know, you might not care about being judged, but you want to be judged a certain way. Sometimes that could like withhold you or like restrain you. You know what I mean? Or on the other side, you just won't give a fuck. You won't care. You don't care what anybody thinks. And that's also like a double-edged sword. It can be a good thing and a bad thing, because I feel like the best artists are like unapologetic. But sometimes we have to like even, you know, monitor ourselves and know when to like, you know, loosen the reins or know when to tighten the grip. You know what I mean? So being from Philly, it's that level of understanding of when to let the gritty side come out and when to just like withhold it and just like, you know, allow other people to like be a part of the community. You know, we didn't have money, so I couldn't get the fresh $80 high top Air Force One. I think it was like $80 at the time. Low tops was like $65, $70. And everybody was on the mid top with the strap. I couldn't get those. And I couldn't get the Guess jeans, and I couldn't get the polo I wanted. That was really what was popping at the time, Guess, polo, Air Force Ones. So, you know, I would go to thrift stores and my mom would tell me like, you know, this is tight, you should wear this is cool. And I'm like, nah, I don't wanna wear that, you know? And I guess looking back, I was like, damn, I'm glad my mom taught me those lessons, because now like I don't think I buy anything really. Other than I'll either make it myself or I get bare essentials like jeans or t-shirts. Like I don't really buy anything, and I just like develop my own style from that. Makes me an individual, and honestly puts more money in my pocket, because now brands want to reach out to me to wear their stuff. I just had to grow up and learn on my own and like learn about myself and what my personal style was and what I was afraid to do and what I wasn't afraid to do. And like I said, that develops into a personal style. And then if you're an actual designer, your personal style is going to trickle down into what you design. Being fearless helps me be fearless in designing, you know? Not being afraid to pull up with anything on. I could be wearing something crazy, like these pants are, this is the lining, this is, like I have jeans on under this. Like, these pants are lining for something heavier to wear. Like this is just lining. Like this isn't even meant to be worn out, but I'm wearing it out. And this is a risk that I'm willing to take. And what I learned is once you have that fearlessness, people don't judge. They don't even try you. They assume that you're gonna do that. Like look at Young Thug. Like people had everything to say to Young Thug, but once they realized that it wasn't gonna change, like he's really gonna take these fashion risks, nobody says anything anymore. I wanna be known for me. I'm gonna take that extra risk and maybe just take a couple shots that I don't know if I can make. But I've been practicing, so maybe I'll make them and I'll believe that I can make them, and before you know it, I'm making those shots. Same thing with fashion. It's like, I don't really know if I should mix this fabric with that fabric, but why not try it? People will fuck with it, you know? You just gotta take that risk. Yoshitaka Amano. All the Final Fantasy games. He designs a lot of the characters all the way down to like everything that they have on. And I would look at the fashion choices and I'd be like, damn, like why can't I wear a pair of irregular shorts where it's one leg that goes down to the ankle and the other one stops at my knee? Like why couldn't I wear that? Why can't I wear tassels over a jacket where it's only one arm and the other arm is just short sleeve with straps on it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why can't I wear that? Like, why don't they design this stuff for people? Well, like Babylon Cartel came to me just like it comes to any teenage, ambitious kid from the hood. Like, you saw somebody else do it and you're like, yo, I want to do that shit too. So I tell people this all the time, like Pharrell Williams was definitely my inspiration to start my own clothing line. And you know, he was just everything he was doing with BBC, and then he started Ice Cream. He was making beats. His shit was futuristic sounding. Like, you know what I mean? He had his old little space theme. I'm like, damn, like what would my theme be? What would my Ice Cream be? What would my Star Trek be? Babylon Cartel, like that name in particular, came into me in a dream. And I got my homies involved. And we partnered with Live Nation. Acts that are now all over the world. Like we brought them to Philadelphia. A$AP Rocky, Trinidad James, Lil B. All these first timers at that time came to Philadelphia and to TLA. It would be Babylon Cartel Presents. Producing and art, I gave them up around the same time because I just wanted to, once again, just because of the situation and the environment I was in, I needed to make money to survive. So I knew that visual art and production wasn't really gonna get me to the dollar as fast as I needed to because I didn't wanna be broke. So I kinda just put them both down. And especially with music, my shit wasn't sounding like I wanted it to sound. Music re-entered my life after I started DJing, so I was throwing some bangers, man. We tried to be very creative with like the urban nightlife scene of Philadelphia. And I'm like, I know we're predominantly black, but that doesn't mean that we gotta hear just hip hop and R&B the whole time, like switch it up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just start DJing my own parties, like, and I'm gonna DJ other people's parties, and I'm gonna show people like, you know, we could play different types of music because I saw Diplo doing it. He's playing Rick Ross, he's playing The Doors, he's playing Yeahs, he's playing reggae. You know, he's Sean Paul, like everything. So I'm seeing all this shit, I'm like, damn, like Diplo, A-Track, Calvin Harris, they out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why can't a black guy do that? Like, why can't it be a black guy doing that? So I'm like, shit, I'm gonna start getting into production and take this shit serious. And since I don't understand certain things about music, I'm just gonna teach myself and learn, and I'm gonna start making dance music. So that got me into production, was making dance music. Damage was, that was the dude in Philly when it came to just college parties, radio, just everything. Like he had Philly on smash. One day I was like, yo man, like I'm really trying to get into DJing, but I want you to like teach me, like straight up. So I'll never forget, like I shot some content on him for like Babylon Cartel's like website, but the whole time he was teaching me how to DJ, so he's teaching me about transition, beat matching, like all that shit. And like he's in there, like I can't even do the finger thing with the fader, but he's in there, like he going in. I'm just like, damn. So like I learned a lot about DJing from Damage. We all want to do things, we all want to fight, but you gotta be organized, you gotta mobilize, you gotta have things together, you gotta know exactly what you're doing. You can't just go into the battlefield not prepared. So I think as black people, we stray away from that because we're so creative, we're so talented that a lot of times we can just wing it. But the art world is set up totally different. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily set up for us to win. To be in the art world, it's not just about sticking to your own people, staying with your own group of people. No, you gotta get into these other markets. You gotta get into these other showrooms. You have to get into these other galleries. You have to meet these other art dealers, these art buyers. And what happens is when certain people get in, especially people of color, when they get in, they don't go back and get other people. It's like dog eat dog. It's like, oh, I got here, and it's like, it's rare that I'm here. Like, it happens with everybody. Sometimes you even internalize those thoughts without even realizing. we have to get out of that mindset. And I'm not saying that we have to bring everybody along, but you have to bring people with you because you have to establish your peership around you. You have to establish things around you. And in order to really have a good setting to like stand on, you have to get into those spaces first. You have to tell your story, let people know how you're going to roll, how you're going to do things, and how you're going to execute. And then you bring in the pieces around you. If you get into the moment, I don't feel like you should switch up the type of person that you are. If you get into the moment and you like grits and you like chicken wings, fuck that. Like, continue to be that person because they need to see that it's also a black person that is 100% unapologetically black and doesn't change up his persona for anybody. And I feel like that's what we really need. I don't mind being able to communicate with different cultures and different groups of people. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like when you alienate your own people because you want to just exist in one world, you shouldn't do that. We shouldn't forget our people just because we want to appeal to the majority. We shouldn't forget the minority to appeal to the majority. And that's the problem in the art world, and we have to fight against that. I'm Gianni Lee, and this is The Breakdown.
On the bed and we make our way down to the floor. Pull my hair so goddamn tight.